being able to evaluate and see what the message is, what the really compelling, riveting message is, and then being able to communicate that message in any one of those media, whether it's writing a song. John Lennon wrote jingles. Imagine there's no heaven. It's a jingle. Then after that, I think that the single most clear thing I can say about talent and creativity is that talent and creativity is not the ability to do it only, it's the ability to know when it's right and when to stop. Everybody has it. It starts out as like a little mustard seed, the size of a mustard seed is like a pinhead, yeah. It starts like the size of a pinhead. And then you can do something, if you can have something to say. That's what I was trying to just say before. If you have something solid to say, then you can express yourself, and then you can build on that, and then you learn and you learn and you learn and you learn, and you become a better writer, and you become a better visual person, and you become a better communicator. Because creativity is all about communicating the message. It's not creating the beautifulness, the beauty. Even at a level of art direction or makeup or wardrobe or anything like that, it all adds to telling the story. It's not separate. Art direction on film sets is not separate from the story. It has to enhance the story, so therefore it's creative in that sense. So I went to the Daily Telegraph as a copy boy, and that means I was running messages, and I moved into the police rounds room, and which is the room where the crime journalists are, the crime reporters. I left and I went off into the country, and I was editing newspapers, small newspapers. I was travelling around. I went to New Zealand. I worked for the newspapers in New Zealand. I came back to Sydney, and I ended up back at the Sydney Telegraph, the Daily Telegraph. But not as a journalist, I was a sub-editor. I want to move on. I'm interested in writing and doing stuff. And I went up to Brisbane, couldn't get a job in the Courier Mail, and I got a job in a promotions company, writing little ads and little promotions and brochures and books and stuff like that for a rock band, and a whole bunch of things that we did. I was there for about a year. Then I got a job in the best agency in town because I'd done some really good work. I was very lucky. I had a great creative director, but I'd done some good work, and I'd won some awards in the first year, and so I went on from there. Yeah, the School of Hard Knocks, maybe. I came out of high school, passed the high school certificate, not great, but passed. Went straight to the Sydney Daily Telegraph as a copy boy, earning like $7 a week or something ridiculous in those days.
Yeah, just you said earlier.
And then the rest I learned in the business. So I really, I did do some study 3 years ago. When I got my certificate 4 in training and assessment, and then I've done an advanced diploma in advertising, just so that I have the credentials to teach. Really, there are a lot of people who can make ads. I'm a little bit different. I can make ads, yes, I can make pretty good ads, but I also have the gift of the gab. I can talk to people. I have no problem with it. I like people very much, and I get on very well with almost everybody, and I'm an unashamed self-promoter. Of course, the business, the advertising business for a start, is a business where if you do good work, then they love you. If you don't do good work, you don't remain in the business. And then you become something on the client side, and when the agency comes along and you turn around to them and you say, oh, I used to be in advertising, and everybody on the agency side goes, oh my God, but now we're in for it. Because this guy thinks he knows something and he knows absolutely nothing probably, but it would be nice to him. So it's about the growing the career was not a planned thing. So in Queensland, I'd been working on QUF, Queensland United Foods. I'd been doing ice creams and milks, and I'd been doing newspapers. I'd been selling diamond shops. I'd been doing a whole bunch of really cool clients. That's very important. And then I went to Sydney to Ogilvy and Mather as a copywriter. I was working on Streets. I was working on a whole bunch of different FMCG clients. And then I got snapped up by McCann Erickson, Melbourne, as Deputy Creative Director, and I worked on some really great accounts. I worked on TAA, the Australian National Airline, Qantas bought about 20 years ago. But before that was Trans Australia Airlines. And Nabisco and Kodak and Coke and, a lot of great clients. And I think that the clients was the thing that helped me get better and better. As a creative person, most of your friends are creative people. I've still got my school friends, and I've still got friends who are not in the business, but I met through different means. Old friends. But every friend I've made in the last 30 years has been in the business. Either on the client side, because they're really cool people, or especially on the creative side, colleagues, my camera people, my guys I go and do my music with, the editors I work with, the people I know, that I've known for, now for 20, 30 years, and we trust each other and we love each other, and that's, I suppose, if you have to have a group of people that you belong to, a network, then that's my network. As I said before, I'm an unashamed self-promoter. Yeah. I would counsel anybody in our business to be exactly like that, because this business is about personality. It's about ego and confidence. Ego in a nice way, not ego in a up your nose with a rubber hose way, but ego with a real sense of drive and confidence and ability, a sense of your own ability and your own capability. And then go out and tell people, and don't be frightened to tell people. Don't be arrogant about it, don't be annoying, but have a good website. Yes, join whatever you want to join. Young filmmakers of New York City, go and join it. Why not? You might see something that inspires you to do something else. And I think that's a very important point too. I think that for young filmmakers, my advice would be see as much as you can. Look at everything. Absorb all the things in the world. Be a cultural sponge, pop cultural sponge. Just soak it all up. Everything. Know everything. Know things that girls do with makeup that most guys wouldn't know, because it will come in handy one day. And if you want to be a director, I think you have to have this sense of global pop culture and a sense of history and a sense of all sorts of things that inform your creativity, that inform you coming up with the message. It depends what you want to do. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a producer and director, producer first. It's a business, and then it's easier because there's more jobs for producers, because there's so many stories to tell. So once you have a story, then you can produce the story. Yeah. And the producer, if you think about it, works from the beginning of the project to the very end of the project, and is the last person out the door. So it turns off the light and leaves after the job's done. the director is also there from the very early stages. But when you come to, if you want to be a cameraman, just a cameraman, I only want to be a cameraman, then you've only got this tiny little space in the middle of the whole production process where the shoot happens.
Yeah.
And it might be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it might even be 10 days, but if it's 10 days, it's a massive job, and the pre-production is longer, much longer than anything else, and the post-production then becomes longer as well. So if you're just going to be a cameraman or a gaffer or a sound recordist and you're just going to be on crew, it's very difficult. You're working freelance because there's no jobs. There's no full-time jobs. And so if you want to be a writer, producer, director, or you want to be an editor, then you've got a much more chance of being full-time employed.